What do we have here?
These hands were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace. I need to figure out exactly who I am.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
Hello, everybody, and I am joined by Alec Toombs here for a summer movie preview 2022. I'm excited about it. It seems like so many summer movies the last 2 years got pushed off and pushed off. So some of the movies we're going to talk about here are actually movies that are supposed to come out 2 years ago or even last year. But Alec, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Chris. I'm looking forward to our chat.
So I know some people, different people have different feelings about the summer movie season. I'm always excited about it, although I'll usually admit that usually by about July, mid-July, I'm kind of the movies have got a little stale for me, or I'm disappointed in what movies have come out, and I'm looking forward towards the fall, but it is what it is. I will say that I've been kind of disappointed with the last two summers because so many things got pushed away that it was kind of meager offering. So it seems like a lot of really big, high-profile films this summer. So I think what we're going to do is, why don't we just each of us throw out five, and we'll go back and forth movies that you're personally most looking forward to this summer. Maybe we'll have some overlap because we didn't share lists before we started this. And then we'll just talk about some other notable movies that are coming out. So why don't you start?
I listed mine in chronological order. So I'll start with the beginning of the season with the movie that's kicking off summer, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's directed by Sam Raimi. It comes out May 6th, May 5th, I suppose, with the Thursday night screenings that people like to attend. Just really excited to see Raimi tackle the comic book genre again. I've been a fan of his, dating all the way back to The Evil Dead. I watched those movies back when I was like in middle school, and just seems like a really cool, exciting movie. I've dug Doctor Strange in the MCU previously. He was a lot of fun in Spider-Man No Way Home just a few months back. So this is one I'm actively looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I know a lot of people are experiencing, superhero movie fatigue, or even, specifically Marvel Cinematic Universe fatigue. I'm not. I mean, my attitude is as long as the movies are good and it's interesting, and it seems like they're very intentional about shaping this mythos and the greater world that exists in. I mean, that's kind of my attitude in general. It's like, Chris, do you hate rom-coms? I was like, no, I hate bad rom-coms and repetitive rom-coms. But as long as the movies are good and they really haven't steered us strong as far as I'm concerned. And by the way,
I kind of get the vibe this one might be delving more into like a horror territory, which I'm kind of a horror hound, so I'm excited to see. And Raimi certainly has the bona fides in that genre. I'm looking forward to see what he does with this latest Doctor Strange installment.
Yeah, me too. And I should mention, people are probably saying, "Hey, it's April. Why are you doing a summer movie preview?" Well, guess what? Well, Doctor Strange comes out next Friday, May the 5th or 6th, whatever it is, and that's really kicking off summer. You could even argue that April, with like Fantastic Beasts was the first summer movie. There have been a lot of other movies, like the Fast and Furious movies, kind of kicked this off a while ago, where they started coming out in April. So
I think some of the MCU movies have been dropping in April too. I think a few of the Avengers, like Endgame and Infinity War. I think those were April releases as well.
All right, one on my list is Top Gun. Yes, I'm looking forward to Top Gun, and this is one of the ones that was supposed to come out in 2020. We're just now finally getting it. I don't have to say, I mean, the first movie was so attached to like my youth. That was like I remember that was the first summer I was working in a movie theater. And I saw that movie probably 50, 60 times over the course of the summer, just because I was the usher standing in the back and I kind of had to watch it. So I'm excited. It also must set some kind of a record for longest period between sequels. So when it comes out, it'll have been 36 years between movies, which is mind-blowing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Top Gun Maverick is also on my list. It comes out on May 27th. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who previously worked with Cruise on what was it, Oblivion. He also did the Tron Legacy sequel, which I actually kind of enjoyed. The Daft Punk score was awesome, and I thought the look of the movie was great. I know Christopher McQuarrie, who's been working with Cruise a ton in the last 5 to 10 years, is one of the credit writers on the movie, so I'm excited about that. The cast for the movie is awesome. You've got Val Kilmer coming back, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, an actor I really like a lot named Glenn Powell, who keeps popping up in Richard Linklater movies. Ed Harris is in it. John Hamm is in it. And Bill Pullman's kid, Lewis Pullman, who I thought was great in Bad Times in the El Royale a few years ago, is also in it. So I'm really looking forward to Top Gun Maverick.
Cool. All right, so we're going to count that as your number 2, since like we said, we didn't know if there'd be crossover on these or not, but I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I could delve in deeper.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to get into
Top Gun was one of the VHS tapes we had in my family as a kid. My brother got it as a Christmas gift. I've probably seen Top Gun 50 to 100 times, in all honesty. And I'm also a weirdo who generally likes Tony Scott's movies better than Ridley Scott's movies.
Wow, that's amazing to think. Okay, I will say I'm looking forward to Jurassic World Dominion, even though I kind of did get a little burned out on the original trio of Jurassic Park movies, and then I thought the Jurassic World movies were just sort of but it seems like a real crossover. They're bringing back some of the original cast, Jeff Goldblum and the gang, so I'm excited to see that. I don't know, that's one of those things. It's like it could revive the franchise, but it's like the last Spider-Man movie. I mean, if you told me what they were going to do and I didn't know going in, I would have been like, I don't know about that, but it really, really worked. So I'm hoping this could be the same.
It's not on my list, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't remember when it's coming out. I think sometime in June.
That is June 10th.
I know my wife's looking forward to it. Jurassic Park is her favorite movie of all time. I love the first one. I think it's kind of been diminishing returns for the most part ever since. I'm also more of a Jaws guy than a Jurassic Park guy, but yeah, it should be cool.
What's next on your list?
Next on my list, and we're going back to the MCU and the comic book well again, is Thor: Love and Thunder, which is coming out on July 8th. The trailer dropped, set a bunch of watch records. Looks really good. Natalie Portman's back in the franchise, playing a female version of Thor. Christian Bale's in the movie. I didn't see him in the trailer, but I'm always excited to see whatever he does. Apparently, Matt Damon's going to be in it again. I'm assuming in a very small cameo role, as he's wont to do. But Taika Waititi, I think, is one of our better working filmmakers. Super imaginative, super funny. If this movie is half as good as the last Thor movie he directed, I think it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. I'll admit, when I first heard about what it was, all I heard when the movie was announced was now Natalie Portman is Thor. And I was just like, well, hold on. It's like Thor is Thor, and I'm all for, having like Black Norse gods and, all the panoply of diversity. But it's like Thor is a dude, and he's supposed to be a dude. Literally, he's a mythological god of masculinity. It's just like, okay, is like Hera gonna be intersex now or something? I don't know. In general, I'm cool with people doing all sorts of different things, but it sounds like it's more like, I don't know. I'm still a little unclear even from watching the trailer. Like, is she actually taking over the Thor role permanently, or is she just sort of one iteration of Thor? I'm still a little confused.
Probably a similar deal like when Gwyneth Paltrow was getting in the Iron Man suits. just another iteration of the character or an extension of the character, perhaps.
Yeah, well, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Let's see, another one that I'm looking forward to is maybe this is probably might be on your list, is The Black Phone. Is a horror film that's been delayed and delayed and delayed with
It was an
Ethan
honorable mention for me. It's one I'm certainly interested in.
starring Ethan Hawke. A little unclear what it's about, but obviously, you know, I think he's playing the bad guy or maybe the bad guy in this, but it looks cool, and I'm just curious, for a movie that's had its date pushed at least twice that I know of, does that mean it's not any good, or is it just really good and they're just really trying to find the right spot in the market for it to hit? And that's June 24th for that one.
I think as of right now, the movie has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't always an indicator that it's good. But Scott Derrickson, the guy who directed it, I think he went and made this after being let go from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He directed the first Doctor Strange, and he's kind of returning to his indie horror roots with The Black Phone. I know it's a Blumhouse production, and Ethan Hawke's really hot right now between Moon Knight and
The Northman. He was in The
Northman, which he wasn't in much, but he was quite good what time he was there. So,
okay, what's next on your list?
Next on my list will be Jordan Peele's Nope, which comes out on July 22nd. Looks like
that was
he's
on my list too.
Dipping his toes into alien or UFO horror, perhaps. It's kind of what it's looking like from the trailers. He has a really good cast. Keke Palmer, Daniel Kaluuya, recent Oscar winner, Stephen Yeun. I was digging in, doing a little research on it. There's an actor I like a lot who hasn't worked in a while, and I didn't know was in the movie, Michael Wincott.
Wow. Yeah.
He was in Crow. He was in the Eddie Murphy movie Metro.
He was like he was like the number 2 villain in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yeah,
he's got the cool, gravelly voice. He was in everything in the 90s and kind of has disappeared. So he's supposedly in it. A young actress named Barbie Ferreira, who's on the controversial HBO series Euphoria, is also supposedly in it. So with Jordan Peele, he's just made such a splash so quickly, doing things that are markedly different than what he was known for prior.
Yeah.
I adore Get Out. I think it's one of the better movies of the last 10 to 15 years. And I really liked Us. It was a slight disappointment in relation to Get Out, but whatever this guy's doing, I need to see it at this point.
Well, I'm flipped on that. Everyone's talking about like Get Out is the movie of our time. And I was like, oh, that's good. It was a good movie. It didn't seem terribly subtle to me, but I loved Us. I thought I was like, that's one of the best horror films or horror adjacent films I've seen in a long, long time. So I will say, yeah, even though we disagree about the merits of those particular movies, I'm up on both of those, and I'm very much up on his career as a filmmaker. I remember I've kind of tracked him with Greta Gerwig because they were, you know, people known for acting in other things. And then they both made their first movie at the same time directing. And I thought her Lady Bird was fantastic, and his was pretty good, more than pretty good. And then their second movie came out. I thought his second movie was fantastic. I thought her second movie is a little bit more disappointing.
That's funny because I like Little Women better than I like Lady Bird.
Yeah, interesting. So I'm looking forward to see what both of them will do for their third movie. I wanted to mention for mine, I can't remember if I've done 4 or 5 now. I want to mention the Elvis biopic coming out. That's June 24th. It is directed by Baz Luhrmann, the Australian sort of gonzo filmmaker known for a lot of musicals. And he's kind of been, I can't remember what he's made lately. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but he's kind of been in a dry period.
I think the last movie he directed was Australia, I believe.
Yeah. Good Lord, that's 12, 15 years. It's been a while.
It came out in 2009, so we're talking like 13 years at this point. I know he did some shows on Netflix, or a show, The Get Down, I think was the name of it. I haven't watched it, but that movie certainly intrigues me. It was not on my list. Austin Butler, the gentleman who's playing Elvis, is a very good young actor. He was awesome in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The trailer looks good. Hanks kind of looks creepy in his makeup, but I'm always interested to see what he does. So, okay.
And do you have one more? And like I said, we're going to mention some other movies, but we were talking about the first ones that we personally are most looking forward to.
Sure. My number 5, and I think this is my 5th, would be Bullet Train, the new movie from David Leitch. I thought the trailer looked super fun. Leitch has directed movies such as John Wick, which he co-directed with Chad Stahelski. What else did he do? Atomic Blonde.
Oh yeah, I
Deadpool
love the
2, and Hobbs and Shaw. The guy's just an action junkie. I know he's a former stuntman. This is Brad Pitt's first starring role since winning an Academy Award for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A lot of interesting actors in it. Trailer was really fun. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I love the Atomic Blonde. The movie, unfortunately, it did not a lot of people see, but it was sort of seen as like a John Wick knockoff with a female protagonist. And for my money, it outwicks John Wick. I liked Atomic Blonde even more than any of the John Wick movies, all of which I've liked. Well, cool. So that's kind of like our 10, or 8 because we 8 or 9 because we had some obvious crossover. But I'll just throw out some other names, and feel free to chime in on any others that you're interested in. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I think that's coming out just on Disney Plus. But hey, we're multi-platform guys here. The Bob's Burger movie. I'm curious to see what they do with that. I kind of wandered away from that show a 3 years ago. So that'll be interesting. Lightyear. I'm curious about this one because, of course, they're sort of going back to the origins of the character and got rid of the voice actor Tim, whose last name is escaping me right now. Tim, the Tool Man Taylor. I can't remember.
Tim Allen.
Yeah, Tim Allen. I still don't get that. Guy, is the voice of a character for 25 years and, really made him iconic. And now they're having, I believe it's Chris Pine taking the voice.
Chris Evans.
Thank you. I don't know. It seems strange. I read something somewhere that there's maybe some live action stuff in this. I don't know. Like it's supposed to be like, what the character of Lightyear looked like as a person in like a brief television show that he was based on before. I don't know. I don't get it. What I said I had a little discussion with folks on Twitter about this, and I said, if they did a Woody spin-off movie and Tom Hanks was not doing the voice, everyone would be losing their stuff. So I don't know why people aren't reacting to that, but whatever. I'm looking forward to see what they can do with it.
If we can backtrack a little bit, I am really excited about the Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger movie. I believe it's Andy Samberg, and I'm trying to remember who else is voicing. Maybe John Mulaney.
Yeah,
I think Sandberg's Lonely Island compatriot Akiva Schaffer, who directed Pop Star and Hot Rod, is directing it. I think it's going to be smart and funny, if I had to guess. It looks pretty good.
Cool. So other one's Firestarter. They're making a new version of Firestarter. God knows it's got to be better than the Drew Barrymore one from way back when. Minions: The Rise of Gru. So this is Gru as a kid, like supposedly when he's first meeting the Minions and putting together his criminal scheme. I'm interested. I don't have to say. Let's maybe this way. My kids are definitely interested. Cha Cha Real Smooth. That was a festival favorite starring Dakota Johnson. It's something about like an older married woman, not older, but a married woman having a kid with a friendship with a younger kid. That got really talked up at the festivals. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, a stop motion animated film. I think you're interested in that one.
I definitely am. I'm curious to see an A24 kids movie. I'm guessing it'll mostly be appropriate for children. There's probably going to be one horrific thing that scars us all in it.
Yeah.
The trailer looked really good. I saw it before Everything Everywhere All the Time, which if you people haven't seen it, please go see that movie. That movie is fantastic.
Jenny Slate, I think, does one of the voices.
I think she's the title character.
Yeah. Is it Jenny Slate or Slater? I always want to call her Slater, but I think it's just Slate.
Slate.
Yeah. She's got a voice that was made for voice work and animation and things like that. Jessica Chastain is in The Forgiven on July 1. Looks like a really meaty drama. And I always look at when you have like a serious meaty drama in the middle of summer. That's July 1.
One I didn't even know of.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned Nope and Bullet Train. Another one that I had on my list, I think this is everything, is DC League of Super Pets. That's July 29th with the voices of Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart and a few other folks. It seems like sort of like the obvious, let's do a kitty superhero movie with pets, but it looks interesting. I'm sure it's going to be one of the things that's more for kids that maybe parents have to endure, but who knows? Maybe it'll be one of those great movies like, the original Gru and Minion movies that the parents could like just as much.
Lego movie would be an example of that for me. I love that first Lego movie. So
Cool. And
we'll
is there
see.
anything else?
Apparently,
Anything else on your list that I didn't mention?
one we haven't talked about yet, which I know you're excited about. I'm excited for too. Is Men, the new
Oh,
Alex
yeah.
Garland movie
Yeah, I actually
coming out
did have that on my list here, and why I skipped over it. But yeah,
on May 20th. I was in love with Ex Machina. Didn't really warm up to Annihilation as much for whatever reason, but I think he's a talented enough filmmaker where I'm curious to see whatever he does next. And Jessie Buckley, I think, is one of our better young working actresses. It's just fascinating to watch her work. So that's one I'm certainly looking forward to.
Yeah, I love Jessie Buckley. I think she's a real chameleon of an actress. I remember her first movie, I think, that I saw her in was Beast from a few years ago. And she's just gotten better and better. And I was so happy when she got an Oscar nomination for The Lost Daughter, just because it was great work that could have been overlooked. So yeah, and tell the folks a little bit about Men, because I know it's something to do with like a woman. Toxic masculinity seems to be. Well, I'll just let.
I'm trying to remember the name of the actor who's playing opposite her. It seems like he plays almost every other character in the movie, or every other man in the movie, except for her character's late husband. I've seen the trailer a bunch lately. I saw 2 movies yesterday, and the Red Band trailer was in front of both of them. Looks good. Looks interesting.
Yep. All right. Well, that is our summer movie preview. I think we gave you hopefully a fairly comprehensive overlook of not just our personal favorites that we're looking forward to, but we'll kind of listen out some of the other cool movies coming up. I'm excited about it. It seems like a really promising movie summer. We got a mix of action, sequels, superhero movies, but also some horror and drama and interesting stuff coming up. So what can I say? I'm in love with the movies, and I never really get tired of talking about them.
Me neither. Thanks for the time, Chris.
All right. You guys have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.